Hello. Oh, let me just kind of do that. Ugh. So, today we are in that looks silly. We are in week 5. I am in week 5. You are either following along with me or I don't know who you are. Who are you? Who are you, really? It's all about identity, isn't it? So, week 5. I am going to jump right in because I've written notes as I normally do, and now I'm like highlighting the things that I want to talk about in the video because there's just kind of clearing away the clutter and getting to the juice of it. So number one was, give me one sec. Should probably have that set up ahead of time, but we are going with the wing. How has your weeks been, guys? You're always like asking about my weeks. Like, how's your week been? You know what I mean? Jokes. That is me buying time. Okay. So, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? Are you starting to like them at all? How was the experience for you? Have you discovered the page and a half truth point yet? Many of us find that pay dirt in our writing occurs after a page and a half of vamping. Those words at the end, I don't know what she is saying. But I digress. So, to start off with, I have once again been consistent with my pages every single morning. I'm not going to question it anymore, really. I know that some days it is really hard, but what I found is that it's a safe place for me. If I have woken up lost and I have that heaviness, or I've got kind of that low self-worth that I wake up in for some reason, and it's difficult to nurture myself, I know that the morning page is going to be a pillar of my day, a pillar of my morning. I know that if I want to, and I can't stress that enough, if I actively decide that I want them to work, then they will work in a way, It's not just going to be oh, I have to do this, and oh yeah, and then I'm done with it, and then I'll go about my day still being unhappy and not nurturing myself, So I found them to be like that. Something that Julia has mentioned in this week is ask for answers in the evening and listen for answers in the morning. This has been so good because at night I have found that this has made me aware that all my greatest anxieties, or the things that I'm really thinking about just before I'm about to go to sleep, even if you have a partner or someone next to you, I don't. I feel like you're always still kind of just alone in that thinking. You're just alone with yourself, So this has been a really great way to kind of ask those questions that you're really thinking about and then close the book. You don't have to answer it right away. You just ask the question, close the book, go to sleep. And there's a strange feeling of surrender. You don't have to figure it out because you have to trust and you have to have faith that it will be answered in the morning. And it has been. It has been answered in the morning. Something that I have discovered as well is she was talking about the page and a half truth point as well. I found that. I think I found that last week in the previous video, but in this week, I'm now so conscious of it because she said that I see it, but then I also find that I'm actually answering that question that I ask in the nighttime in maybe the last half of the page of the morning pages. 2, the art estate. So this week I scrapbooked. We're talking about the image file where you take the images or draw images or whatever you want to do and then put it into a place. So I bought a scrapbook like a visual diary. And so then for my artist date last week, I decided to create that kind of, with different stickers and glue and scissors and cut them up and put it in there. Did it feel adventurous? No, it didn't. And it didn't really, if I'm being honest, didn't really satisfy my artist child. Because I guess it was also a chore of what we're doing on this course. But what I have found is, so this week I extended. So you know how last week there was an extended artist date that she was talking about? If you don't, it is where you stay somewhere. You take a night for yourself to go away and just have an artist date extended. So I actually did that a couple of nights ago. I went and stayed at a motel for a whole night. That was fun. I wrote about it here that I found profound answers, and I wrote some pretty powerful poetry with a lot of truth in it. That felt very adventurous because I think I had to just get through or just disregard the fear, the financial fear of it, but it was so necessary for the creative. It reminded me that creative solitude is really necessary. When I went there, I felt this fear of like, oh, I can't be by myself. And then, no, not by myself, more so like I can't be myself still. But I was just alone in a room, and in a really nice, lush room. Like I had the night, I could just pay for it. I could just chill out. So then I popped the fucking music on, and then I cooked. Yeah, had a great time. Had a little party with myself. And I realized you can really just party with yourself if you really want to. Music is that trigger for me. It just gets me right in there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here now. And then lights and just sensation, vibes, reminded me that I need a budget for those things, because if I want to do that again, I would like to have money for that and not worry financially, or like take out of things that I am saving for, because then it means that I have to like deprioritize that and prioritize that, so like, yeah, I just want to prioritize it is what I'm saying. It made me feel more like myself. And I found, and this is pretty crazy, I found that I could look in the mirror and love me. There's a few moments in this where I can look in the mirror and feel that. I'm not fully there yet, and that's me completely being honest. But I'm on my way there, yeah. 3, synchronicity. So, she said, did you experience any synchronicity this week, and what was it? Not yesterday. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. Synchronicity. I have experienced a lot of synchronicity to the point where I start to view it. First off, it only starts to show its head when I start being aware of it when I actually take care of myself. When I feed myself, when I just nurture myself in general, like good health, just nurturing my artist child, everything. That's when like I can listen, in this as well, she mentions having a conversation with a friend about synchronicity. And what I gathered from that, my friend, he talked about synchronicity, and he saw it as it being in the big moments of his life, like, his big breakthrough, his career, and when he just finished uni and he couldn't find a job, so then he went and did something, and then this led to a different path, right? And it made me realize that I actually see those moments of synchronicity, not necessarily in those big moments, like they are those, absolutely. But I start to see it when I am, in good health, and I'm actually taking the step forward myself and helping myself, that's when I feel that kind of poetic presence of God in just the little paths or the little branches. Like, today even, right? I jumped on my bike because I was having a very heavy morning. I jumped on my bike because I was like, all right, I don't know what I need. I'm just going to get on this bike. I don't know where I'm going. Let's just go. So I got on the bike. And then that's when I feel like the paths present itself, because I got on the bike, I was doing something for myself. I knew I needed to get out of the house. And I needed to have some kind of movement from the stagnant place, And so then all these different things happen and blah, 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 blah. And then you're just, you're in the timeline. But nothing happens when you just stay still and don't do anything for yourself, I don't necessarily mean, staying home. Like if you're sick or if you're just want to stay home, that's great. If you truly think that that's going to be good for you. But today, I don't know, I just didn't feel that way, Yeah. And so then, lastly, was there any other significant issues for your recovery? Describe them. There has been a few in the past week. So first off, I think the main one has been a family member still treats me with the same disrespect of my boundaries. With this recovery, it comes with the awareness of what your boundaries are and what you need, and then it's kind of impossible for you to not be aware of needing to set them, because you know that there is a version of yourself that you love and that you like, that you want to go towards, And I said here that when they disrespect my boundaries, it makes me react out of character from who I want to believe to be, who I want to believe myself to be. Like it reverts myself, and it's very damaging. So one of those moments where I asked in the evening and listened in the morning was asking about that situation. And what I got from the morning pages and from God in the morning was, and this is crazy, it is not your role to judge others, nor is it your role to judge yourself. Your role is to listen for love and act within love. That is all. Now, the interesting thing is that love can manifest in like negative ways as well as positive ways. It can manifest in tears, laughter, actions, reactions. It's all love. With that saying, I found that from like not judging others, like if I look at that person and I'm like judging their actions and judging how they live their life, yeah, of course, if it affects me, but like if I remove the judgment, just pure judgment out of that, instead of actually respecting myself, which is self-love, then what happens when you stop judging other people is you stop judging yourself so harshly. If I was to walk around and be like, look at that fuckwit, blah, 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 then I'm going to kind of put that energy into my body, into my heart, and then give that to myself when I'm by myself. Look and be like, look at that fuckwit. You know what I mean? So removing that, and then the second part, listening for love. And I don't just mean like auditorily, like listening. I mean like receiving love, like seeing it, hearing it, everything. And when I say it's all the negative and positive ways, then you start seeing things for exactly what they are. Everyone is just trying to love and be loved. That's it. As well as yourself. So the second part of that is you must listen to your... Well, actually, like this is just for me, I guess. I'm not judging you. This is just for me. It's what I found. that I must listen to the love within myself too. And that, following the synchronicity and following the paths, that's the love. That's the love that I feel. Like, if I feel like I want to go down that path, that's my love speaking to me, saying that I want to go there, you know? My artist child, being in love with nature and everything, you know? Like, if I want to pick up that paintbrush and use that color instead of that color, instead of what my brain is telling me that I should do, I'll pick up that one instead, because that's where love is, you know? And then you just find that life just unfolds. Another issue has been trusting that money will sort itself out. There is so much financial fear. So much financial fear, which is learnt from just life and from experiences, etc., which I'm working through. I don't know how that's going to sort out. Maybe that will sort out in the next chapter. I think I saw something about money, but who knows? And the next thing, which kind of links to that money thing, is the word fear. I was listening to Reincarnated by Kendrick Lamar. Or maybe it was a different song of his. But he talks about the word fear, and the less that you use it, the more it's not real. And I've been treating that word fear, and I don't want to keep using it, but I'm explaining it because I think it's important. But when I stop acting as if it is a real thing in the world, then it starts to not have so much power, which is really profound. Yeah, I don't fully understand it yet, but I'm sure I will. Next thing is, I realize that I swear as a protection mechanism. Something that I want to maybe just look at. It's another issue, but not massive. But all in all, I'm ready to not let my worries bother me so much anymore. You know? Like, what's the point? What's the point? Can be fucked, you know? Can you be fucked? I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of, like, walking around, and this place that I'm at as well, I'm realizing that there is so much fear. In people's eyes, you see people scared. But maybe that's judgment. It is judgment. See how hard it is to judge? When I realize that I shouldn't judge, and I don't want to judge other people because I don't want to judge myself so much, I realize how much of life I'm just judging, you know? Like, it's not my judgment to do that. It's not my role to judge, I should say. Yeah. All right, we'll see what's happened. That's week 5. Peace.